Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about Nintendo and their 2025 and overall what their plans are here, because Nintendo is doing some pretty interesting stuff recently that is kind of changing the conversation around the Nintendo Switch right now, especially when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. If you guys want to be kept up on the latest Nintendo Switch news and also Nintendo Switch 2 leaks, rumors, and any news that drops, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. So the Nintendo Switch 2, I think, is going to be in March of 2025. The reveal anyways. That's something that I've been reiterating since the beginning of this month, ever since we were supposed to get a Nintendo Direct this month, which obviously we didn't, and as we get into November next month, I've been leaning more and more towards that March reveal in 2025. Remember, Nintendo said at the end of the fiscal year, which ends in March, so it could be in 2025 because, March is in 2025. And the news that Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to be hitting the Nintendo Switch has made that even more concrete for myself, for making me believe that even more. Make sure you tell me what you guys think is going to happen with the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. Do you think it's going to be in 2025? Do you think it's coming soon? Are you tired of waiting like I am and just want this console to drop so you can get into that time with the Nintendo Switch 2 and all the fantastic games that Nintendo will reveal? I am so tired of waiting, guys. I'm really tired. But I'm hanging in there. Now, when it comes to the conversation of what is happening with Nintendo ever since the Xenoblade Chronicles post, and honestly even a little bit before that, because that game is in March, it comes out on March 20th, I did start seeing people come around to the idea that Nintendo is going to make us wait for this Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. And when the Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition was revealed, a lot of people started bringing up a Twitter Nintendo Direct, the idea that Nintendo is going to be dropping games that were meant for a September Nintendo Direct, which we didn't get, over the course of the next 5 months, or at least leading up to the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2, which again, I still think is going to be in 2025. I mean, why would you do it in November? Oh man, I really hope that ages really bad. Could you imagine if they just dropped it in November? I don't think they're going to do that, but that would just... I would love it. But the idea of a Twitter Nintendo Direct, I think, is something that Nintendo is doing, and even more so now because they just announced another thing. So I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but Nintendo just dropped a new app trailer. Now this is for Nintendo Music, and I guess you can listen to the Nintendo music from different games like Mario Odyssey, Animal Crossing, Donkey Kong, and just even Metroid Prime on there. Metroid Prime is on there, of course, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. But I feel like this was an announcement that was meant for a Nintendo Direct, but now we're in this Twitter Nintendo Direct era, which we know in the past that Nintendo isn't shy about putting these announcements on Twitter. I mean, they full on announced a Paper Mario game on Twitter. Remember, Paper Mario and the Origami King was revealed on Twitter during the pandemic, which at the time, a new Paper Mario game, no matter what you thought about the final product, a new Paper Mario game was a big announcement. Now, I would say if we got a third big reveal like tomorrow or in like a week or two, which I don't think we will yet, Mario and Luigi Brothership comes out very soon, so I don't think they're going to show any big game yet, especially after just revealing Xenoblade Chronicles X. That being said, remember, I think, if I recall anyways, I don't think anything big is happening in December. I think December is pretty empty, so maybe they're saving that month for, fingers crossed, The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. I keep bringing that up, but that might be a pretty good month. I mean, it's right before the holiday season. Come on, Nintendo, please bring Wind Waker to the Switch. And Twilight Princess, I've never played Twilight Princess myself, but Wind Waker is what I really like to see, because I'm not paying $80 for a Wind Waker copy and then also on top of that a Wii U, especially considering that most Wii U games are on the Nintendo Switch now. All that's left is really just a couple games here and there, and one of them being The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. With that being said, if Nintendo does end up doing these games until, let's say, at least 3 months, at least around January, February-ish, because we usually do get, I think it's a February Nintendo Direct, I think it is. Though I guess you can throw patterns out the window when it comes to when we should see Nintendo Directs, because Nintendo obviously has their own plans. But this recent news about the Nintendo Music app and the Xenoblade Chronicles export and there being no September Nintendo Direct, that really does change the topic around the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal, because obviously Nintendo still has a lot of games stacked up. Which brings us to our next part of this video. Does Nintendo have a lot of games stacked up? What else games do they have stacked up? Personally, I think The Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess is still on hold for them. I think they do have those done. I think they're just waiting for them to drop, because you have to wonder, if Xenoblade Chronicles X gets support, there is no way they would leave Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the Wii U. We got Skyward Sword on the Nintendo Switch as well, so there's just no way. You would have to be absolutely insane to just leave those on there. So I think they do have some games stacked up, and I think that is one of the games, personally. Now, let's assume that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be revealed in 2025. When can we see the release of the Nintendo Switch 2, and why would Nintendo even do that in the first place? Well, one thing could be that Nintendo just wants to get as much sales as they possibly can before this holiday season, and not only before, but also for holiday season of 2025. If they were to reveal a Nintendo Switch 2, that might actually interrupt their sales for holiday season. Now, I see a lot of people saying, well, that doesn't even matter. Nintendo's probably not worried about that. Personally, I think that could be one of the reasons, and that is probably one of the reasons, in my personal opinion anyways. Another reason could be just with Nintendo's plans. If they do end up revealing the Nintendo Switch 2 in March of 2025, then more than likely that Nintendo Switch 2 release date is probably going to be set for holiday season of 2025, around Christmas time. Because if the reveal is that far out, then you have to wonder, okay, when's the release date? More than likely another 3 to 5 months after the reveal date, which is going to be around holiday season, right? And not only that, but if they reveal it in March, that means that in June of 2025, that summer, they can reveal a whole bunch of Nintendo Switch 2 games that sets up that holiday season for 2025, making a very, very strong launch for the Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, think about it. They have June's Nintendo Direct to reveal any new Mario games, any new, I don't know, not Tears of the Kingdom, The Legend of Zelda games. Maybe they have Star Fox finally, or maybe there's a new Wind Waker game, or maybe there's a whole new IP. I don't know. That's what's really exciting about the Nintendo Switch 2 is not only is it just a new console, it's a sign of new Nintendo Switch games and new IPs, and just that time of the new console being out for us. It's just gonna be a really exciting time, especially for fans of Nintendo Switch news, something that's very lacking recently. Well, not recently. I mean, we just got Xenoblade Chronicles X, but you guys know what I mean. Now, there is another conversation, especially when it comes to Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Does this mean that those games are going to be getting ports later on? We talked a little about this in the video. If you had asked me if Xenoblade Chronicles X was a sign that Nintendo is still holding on to Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, because remember, that's what, I can't even remember which insider at this point said that, but one of the insiders who said these games still exist said that yes, they still exist and Nintendo is sitting on it. It might have been Jeff Grubb, but don't quote me on that. I would say, yeah, I personally think Nintendo is still sitting on them. Again, I don't see Nintendo just not bringing them on the Nintendo Switch. It'd be really weird. I mean, how many Wii U ports? We even got a pinball port, right? That was on the Wii U as well. Of all games that you can port to the Nintendo Switch, you port a pinball game. Like, I just find it really insane that we haven't had it yet. And the only reason why Nintendo would be holding off this much is because they know how strong the demand is for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. But yeah, those are my thoughts on a lot of the conversations that people have been having recently, especially since the Xenoblade Chronicles X port. I think Nintendo is still sitting on the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports. I think they're going to hit the Nintendo Switch. I think this is more of a sign that Nintendo is doing these Twitter Directs, and that they're doing that so they can fill in the spaces for games in between now and the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. And I think Nintendo is going to show a whole bunch of new games during that Nintendo Switch 2 reveal during March, which will set us up until June, where they can fill us in on more games and have a really good launch for the Nintendo Switch 2. Because once the Switch 2 is revealed, then they don't really have to hide games. They can say, oh, it's coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, right? There's no point in hiding it if you already know this already exists, you know, you already announced it. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Do you want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess? I know that, okay, this comment section better be filled to the brim with people saying they want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, but I know you guys really want it bad. I want it bad. Let's all be honest. Even the people who say that are naysayers, come on, be honest. You want Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. I gotta go to bed in like an hour.